Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys.
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Hey wife, did you know that Anchor is sponsoring our show?
Really? Don't we use Anchor to distribute our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, and we are on just about every other platform available as well, thanks to them.
Why do we use Anchor as our podcasting service?
Well, they make editing and distributing our show a breeze.
What if one of our listeners wants to start their own podcast?
Then they should head over to anchor.fm or download the app to get started.
Awesome! You guys should go do that right now! Husband!
Wait!
It's
Sacrilegious Book Club?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
I know, you look like you needed help.
I did. I was panicking because I was like, it's not Q&A. It's not Saturday.
It's not the other thing, anything else.
No.
Yeah, this is new.
It's new. That's why I couldn't remember what it was called.
Right.
Yeah,
Sacrilegious Book Club.
I'm the perfect person to do this. Yeah, Sacrilegious Book Club.
So do you want to remind everybody what we're book clubbing?
Yeah, we are covering Asimov's Guide to the Bible, the Old Testament and the New Testament.
And which pages were we supposed to read this week?
We are covering pages 15 through 32 because last time we did the introduction, which took up the first 15 pages. So.
And in our case, I should say by we, I mean you.
Right.
Because I didn't read them.
No, you didn't read them. I'm telling you about it.
You're telling me about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Well, you ready to go ahead and get into this?
I am.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay, before we actually leap into the book itself, I'm going to tell you a couple things.
Just a couple?
Just a couple.
Okay.
So, the book itself is eminently readable. Like, very approachable. I'm enjoying it. It's not really work, per se.
Well, that's cool.
So, yeah, I really like it. I wish more history books were written in this style.
Right.
Because you could tell that he's interested in sharing the information.
I mean, I think that people that are interested in history and enjoy it can make them interesting.
Right.
So.
Right. We've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put it out there. This book is really readable.
Got it.
The other thing that I wanted to say was a caveat to that, which is that he's got each book of the Bible split up into several smaller sections.
Okay.
And sometimes one section will refer to something in a different section.
Got it.
So I've tried my best to pull those things out and put them where I feel like they should go. So my notes as I took them.
Yeah.
Like if he mentioned something about the Bible itself, I took that out of that section and put it into my notes about the Bible itself section.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I mean, maybe I'll get it better once. Sure. But I'll probably understand it better once you get into it.
Okay.
So.
Well, I just wanted to say we're covering pages 15 through 32, and the topics are...
Wait, 15 through 32?
Pages 15 through 32.
What happened to 1 through 15?
We literally just covered this in the intro.
Oh.
The first 15 pages were the introduction of the book.
Sorry, it's been a while since we did the intro. My bad.
So anyway, the sections that we covered within that are Genesis, the Word,
Yeah.
God, the seventh day, the Lord God, man, Eden, the Euphrates River, the Serpent, and Eve.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
So sometimes he'll tell you the history of something.
Yeah.
And it'll be not about that word. It'll be about the Bible itself.
Gotcha.
That's what I mean to say.
Okay.
And so I took that out and put it in a different section. So as I'm going through these sections, they're not always in the same order as the book is written.
Okay.
I try to make them cohesive to myself.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Okay.
what I was trying to convey. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So some general notes is the Bible was put into writing no earlier than the 9th century BCE.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the earliest that any portion of it would have been put into writing.
Old Testament or anything. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Several strands were written several centuries later, and I'll get into those strands in a bit.
Okay.
Okay, one of them you're aware of, the Deuteronomistic history.
Right, right.
The priestly hands.
Yep.
Okay. They were unified, all these different strands were unified and put together into the current form as we know them today in the 5th century BCE.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I'm sure that you know this. I'm sure that everybody knows this, but it started out in Hebrew and then was translated into Greek, and from there into Latin, and from there into the English as we know it today.
Got it. What is,
So-
why do you always hear Aramaic referred to in the Bible? Do you know?
It's just another language that it was...
For some reason, I thought that was the original one, I guess. But
I honestly don't know. I'm not going to speak
but
out of my
apparently,
ass.
as far as written,
As
this
far
is
as
the way
written,
it goes. So,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I would imagine that the Aramaic was around the same time as the Hebrew,
Okay.
but I could be wrong.
All right.
And like I said, I don't want to talk out of my ass.
Sure. Maybe that's a subject for another day.
Right,
'Cause,
right. Q&A to the book club, right?
Right.
Okay, so the book of Genesis is what we're starting out with.
Okay.
And we're not going to cover the whole thing today because we're only covering 17 pages.
Right, right.
Okay? So Genesis starting on the topic Genesis starts on page 15. Okay? And the Hebrew name of the book is literally in the beginning.
Gotcha.
And the reason for that is that the Greeks used to, the Hebrew used to take the name of the first words of the book, and that's what they would call their document.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
So
that's what when you're saving your document in Word, that's what it does.
right, exactly, exactly. The Greek translation is from the Hebrew.
Yeah.
Is based on the work of 70 scholars, and that's why you will sometimes see it referred to as the Septuagint.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've seen that and not knew what that meant. So
Right, right.
thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
And the Greek translation moved from the Hebrew tradition of using the first word of the book as the title to more descriptive names instead.
Got it.
So it was the
They
Hebrews...
wanted to make it SEO'd for the Bronze Age.
Right. You could think of
Or the Iron Age, whatever time that was.
Right. You could think of the Hebrew as the Word document style
Right.
and the Greek as the SEO style.
Right, yeah.
Okay. The first 5 books of the Bible are attributed to Moses, which we knew.
Right.
But they're not written by Moses.
Right.
They are referred to as, or Genesis is referred to as the first book of Moses called Genesis.
Okay.
That's what it was originally called.
Got it.
Okay. And then It's also called Mosaic Law, or the first 5 books are called the Mosaic Law.
Okay.
Mosaic being Moses.
Right.
Not
right. Not
mosaic tiles on the
right.
ground.
Yeah.
And it goes from Mosaic Law to the Law, which is what the Hebrew called the Torah.
Okay.
And so I think we covered this before in a Q&A, where sometimes when they're referring to the law, they're referring to the Torah, the first 5 books.
Got it.
And sometimes when they say the Torah, they're referring to the law in general, the whole thing. So
Gotcha.
just you have to understand from context what they mean when they say the law.
Right.
So we know that the first 5 books of the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, are in Greek the Pentateuch.
Right.
And that's what we know of it as today.
Yeah.
But early on, Joshua was often included with those first 5 books, and so it was referred to the Greek Hexateuch.
Got it.
Yeah.
I think we had kind of heard that back. I mean, like, it seemed like we had touched on that at one
I
point.
don't recall it, but I might have recently mentioned it having read this.
Or maybe we commented on it, like it seemed like it... I don't know. I felt like we covered that sort of at one point, but...
I don't know.
Could be wrong.
You're probably wrong.
I usually am.
It's now accepted that the creation tale, as,
Genesis?
yeah, is a version of the Babylonian creation myth following the Babylonian exile in the 6th century BCE.
In the 6th century BCE?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Which we're not there yet.
Okay. All right.
We haven't reached the Babylonian exile.
Got it.
Okay?
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Okay.
We're headed there. So, at some point, they're going to get exiled from Babylon, and it's referred to as the Babylonian exile.
Okay.
And Asimov made a note that he refers to things as pre-exilic and post-exilic, meaning pre-exile, post-exile.
Got it.
Okay? So, the creation myth was created pre-exile, but came from the Babylonians.
Got it. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that is it for the word Genesis.
Okay. Yep.
Now we're moving on to the second little topic.
Okay.
God.
The second little topic.
Right. I mean, and it's brief. He keeps it brief.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
The Hebrew for God or gods is Elohim.
Right, which was the early on God.
Right, except that as Asimov describes it, the Hebrew word actually referred to small g gods plural.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because early religions were always polytheistic.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Elohim was never a big guy
He
god.
was just part of the gods.
It was not a man. It was not an entity.
Got it.
It was just
gods.
The groups of gods.
Got it.
The gods.
Okay.
Elohim.
I see.
So
a collective, so to speak. Of
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So later on, it got translated into God.
Right. That explains some of the wording they used early on too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it was a little bit confusing the way, like, it explains why they said gods so much and stuff like that early on.
Right. And I will get into when we reach the Lord God in just a minute here.
Okay.
But that's it for topic number 2.
Oh,
okay?
wow. Okay.
Yeah. Topic number 3, the 7th day.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
By the way, I meant to be giving page numbers as I went through.
Oh.
Genesis was page 15. God started on page 17. And now the 7th day, the third topic, starts on page 18.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So after 6 acts of creation took place over the course of 6 successive days, there was the Sabbath.
Right.
Right? And it was a day separated from the ordinary days of the week.
Sure.
And it was dedicated to God, right?
Yeah.
Except that in early days, the Sabbath was barely mentioned at all. It was no big deal.
Interesting.
It played a very small role, was hardly mentioned at all prior to the Babylonian exile.
Interesting.
Right?
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
I know. That's the way I felt throughout this whole thing, going, huh. So.
Okay.
And just to reiterate, this is all Asimov's research. Okay?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know, grain of salt, but
Well,
Asimov is well researched.
I've heard from multiple people that he's done a really great job with this research. So
right, I just don't want to get in trouble by saying that these are facts.
Right,
these are facts as presented by Asimov.
We're talking about gods and God.
Right.
To throw out facts, quote unquote, like, come on now.
Right.
Like, we're discussing ideas about this book, about this concept.
Sure.
Right? So
I'm just covering my ass. That's all.
No, I got you.
That's all it comes down to. Okay, topic number 4 is the Lord God. And that section starts on page 19.
Okay.
Okay, so we're cruising right along here.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember when I told you that there were several strands?
Yes.
Okay. So the priestly hands, the Deuteronomistic guys, they refer to that as the P strand. Like they designate it with a P.
Okay.
And it's used to designate portions of the Bible that are attributed to post-exilic priestly hands.
Got it.
Okay,
So they came back and
after the Babylonian
they made
exile.
it look the way they wanted to at that point.
Right. New versions of the creation followed the P version, the P document.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the term Lord God usage.
Yeah.
As opposed to the prior use of God.
Right. In the Elohim sense.
Yeah. So this is when we first start seeing Lord God used all of a sudden.
We're transitioning into the Yahweh God? Is that essentially...
And that is my very next note.
Okay.
Is the Hebrew YHVH
right.
equals the word Lord.
Right.
Okay. And it was mistakenly translated as Jehovah.
Yeah, which is where you get the Jehovah's Witnesses or witness,
The more accurate would have been Yahweh. And I've heard that used in churches before that are by more learned, scholarly pastors.
Yeah.
Adonai is another word, and that means little L, Lord.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's separate from the YHVH capital L, Lord.
Okay.
Okay? And it's not, Adonai is not God's specific name.
Okay.
Okay? So the God Yahweh equals the Lord God.
Got it.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where we see all the different names being messed around with each other.
Right.
And just bad translations and people not knowing what the fuck they're talking about. And then you get a King James version with politics added in. And
I distinctly remember when we first started this podcast in the Genesis, there was multiple contradictions right off the bat because they had two different stories. So one of those is going to be the P version,
right,
coming back and redoing things the way they want to, but it probably, as you said, or as Asimov says, it wasn't as prominent before that was done, apparently. So it was a whole different creation story at that point until the P version came back in and fixed it.
That's why we
fixed it. I mean, by edited it.
That's why we see the contradictions in what was created on what day.
Right, right.
So getting back into the strands, there's the J document, which was a strand of early tradition using Jehovah, and that was about 9th century.
Okay.
And conveniently, it was also the bit that was used for Judah, the land of Judah.
Got it.
Not the person, the land.
Sure, sure.
So the J document is Jehovah and Judah. Okay?
Yeah.
The E document, the E strand, is a strand of early tradition that uses Elohim. And conveniently, that one was used in the 10th century, and Ephraim is the one that they used. Okay. Which is Israel.
10th century BCE, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was what was used in the word of mouth. That was because you said it didn't get written down until the 9th century BCE.
Right.
So the Elohim God didn't ever make it into the actual written other than hand-me-down tales, essentially.
Well, no, the 9th century... Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
No, you said... Never mind. I take that back. I think you said that it was, in its current form, happened in the 9th century or something like that. So maybe it was written in some
I don't know. I get
forms.
confused when we start talking about the BCE because, it's negative numbers. Well, I mean, it is.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No, I know.
So just think of it as the J document uses Jehovah, and it's the Judah part, like with David and all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the E document is they use Elohim in Ephraim, which is Israel.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, the two of them got smashed together.
Sure.
And the kingdom was destroyed in 8th century BCE.
Okay.
And they were incorporated into the J tradition. And you got all these duplications. That's where the duplicated stories come into play.
Got it.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, we kind of knew that, but now we really know it.
Right.
So, the P document combined the J and E versions plus the P material that they added.
Right.
And that equals the current Genesis story.
Got it.
Okay? So, that just basically broke down what we already knew.
Sure.
But
yeah.
Still interesting to reiterate.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, next section.
Okay.
Number 5, man. And that starts on page 21.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So, the Hebrew word for man is Adam.
Oh, okay.
Right? And they meant it as mankind, not like one specific entity
Not
person.
this dude over here.
Right,
Right.
exactly. And that reminds me of when we were watching Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
And the captain's name, or whatever rank he was, his name was Adama.
Right.
And it was from this.
Biblical.
Yeah. Now the J version, remember the Jehovah one from Judah? They said that the human beings were shaped out of clay. So that's from that strand.
Gotcha.
Because there's also the one that said that humans were, that he just breathed life or whatever.
Well, there was one, the one that we read, I think, was dust. Like
Oh,
he was dust.
Dust.
So,
The soul is, or let me rephrase that. The Hebrew word for soul is nephesh, which means breath.
got it.
Okay?
And they did say, that was said, like he breathed life into,
Right.
humans.
So those are the two, that's why we have the two different versions.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, moving right along. Next section, number 6, Eden.
Okay.
Okay, and that starts on page 22.
All right.
The garden thereof,
Yeah.
it's not actually the garden itself. The garden is a place within Eden.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eden was a land which had a garden in it.
Okay.
So,
All right.
and Eden, the place, not the garden,
Right.
was located somewhere east of Canaan.
East of Canaan. So Canaan was Israel, right?
Yeah.
Essentially?
Essentially, yeah.
Well, I guess that makes sense because they think it's between the Tigris and the Euphrates. I think is.
I'm about to get into that
Okay.
with our very next section. So if you want to hold that thought,
Sure.
that's all I had for Eden.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because then we get into number 7, the Euphrates River. That section starts on page 24.
Okay.
And the final editor of the Deuteronomistic History, guys,
Yeah.
they tried to explain where Eden was located by using the junction of important rivers. It's not just the Tigris and the Euphrates.
Got it. Got it. Yeah.
So, in those verses that describe where Eden is located, there's several pieces of scripture, several verses, and there are rivers listed in those. I don't know if you recall.
Vaguely, yes.
Yeah, and the rivers were listed from least well known to most well known.
Okay.
Okay, kind of like how an address, a street address would be.
Right. They're narrowing it down by.
Well, like we start with our house number, then we go to street number, then we go to the town or city that it's in, and then from there we're like, in Dayton area.
Right.
And
right.
then in Ohio, and then in United States.
Sure.
So that's the way it was listed. So what Asimov did was talk about these in reverse order.
Okay.
So, and I'm mentioning that in case somebody is reading along and wonders why or isn't reading along, I should say, but is reading the verses and is like, hey, you're doing these in the wrong order.
Right.
I'm doing these in the order that Asimov listed them in.
Sure.
Okay. So the last one listed would be the most well-known at that time, and that would be the Euphrates.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
It's the longest river in southwestern Asia, and it flows for 1,700 miles.
Got it.
And it's slow and easy to manage for irrigation of, say, gardens.
Right.
And they used that.
Sure.
Okay, so
Yep.
the next one, the third river mentioned, is the Hiddekel or Hiddekel.
Okay.
I didn't realize when we were reading this, that is the Tigris.
Got it.
Because I remember when we were reading this, I was like, oh, I know the Euphrates, but I thought it was the Tigris and the Euphrates and the Fertile Crescent between them. And what is this?
Yeah.
The Genesis mentions Hiddekel, but that is the Tigris.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
And it skirts the city of Ashur of Assyria. And it runs for 1,150 miles.
Okay.
And it is very turbulent and unnavigable.
Got it.
Okay?
Yeah.
And there's kind of a reason I'm telling you this, because that's how they identify the rivers.
Got it.
Okay? So the second one mentioned is the Gihon. Okay?
Yep, I remember that saying.
And some people say that that's probably the Nile. Asimov and many other scholars
don't think that's the case.
Don't think
Got
that's
it.
the case.
Okay.
The Nile encompasses a land to the south of Egypt.
Right.
And that's not... or
South of Egypt or Israel?
South of Egypt.
Oh, okay. All right.
And they say that that's part of why it can't be the Nile, because the river that's being described doesn't fit that.
Got it. Okay.
Doesn't fit that description.
Sure.
It's more likely that it's a now gone tributary of the Tigris.
Got it.
Okay?
Yep.
And the first one that they mention is Pison.
Okay.
Or Pishon, depending on which language.
Sure.
And it was thought by many that it was the Indus, which I'm not familiar with that river, but that's a river today. It encompasses the land of Havilah, which I'll get into in just a second.
Okay.
Which was a land of wealth.
Got it.
And so a lot of people were like, land of wealth? Probably they're talking about India. But they weren't, though.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, their geography, scholars' geography, trying to place these four rivers is so bad.
I was going to say that they were all over the fucking place.
They were. Yeah. So what we think now, we scholars,
sure,
is that Eden may be located somewhere in Samaria, or may have been located somewhere in Samaria.
Okay.
The word Eden in Sumerian meant plain, not like boring plain, but like the plains of...
Right, okay. Great Plains, whatever.
The Great Plains, yeah. The Hebrew word for Eden was delight and enjoyment.
Okay.
So with a coincidental name combination, we got the Magic Garden of Delight.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah. And Eden may have represented a Sumerian nostalgic longing of a time when they still reigned.
Okay.
Because they were like they were doing all this agriculture and stuff, and looking back, you know, like, oh, we used to be hunters and gatherers, and in the Euphrates, in Eden, you know, on the plains of Eden, and,
right.
You know, so kind of like how some Americans refer to the good old days of America, and they leave out the parts where the good old days women couldn't vote, and you know, people of color were considered 3/5 of a person and were owned by other people, and you know, so nostalgia is not always a good thing because you see it through rose-tinted glasses.
Sure. Yep.
So, okay, next section, the Serpent, number 8. The Serpent, and that section starts on page 31, so we're almost done here.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
So, the Serpent really is a motiveless, or at best, a entity possessing a delight in mischief. Okay, that's how he started out originally.
Okay.
but it wasn't until post-exile times the Jews equated the serpent with Satan, the spirit of evil.
Got it.
So when it was originally written, it was just like a mischief god.
Right.
Like, think Loki.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Or, you know, that would be at best.
Sure.
Otherwise, it was just like, whatever. Not
Right.
a big deal. Just part of the story.
Yep.
It's the only other time in the entire Bible, besides Balaam's talking ass, that the Bible mentions talking animals. That's it.
That's interesting.
Just the serpent and just
Balaam's
the ass.
That's
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so now we are moving on to the final section that we covered.
Okay.
Number 9, Eve. And that starts on page 31.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Civilizations built around agriculture likely viewed their work as slavery versus the old days of freedom and hunting and gathering, which I just said.
Mm-hmm.
And Eve was, the Hebrew word for Eve was Hava or Hava,
Okay.
which is similar to Haya, which meant to live.
Okay.
So that's why they think that Eve, like, we don't know where the word Eve came from.
Got it.
But it's likely that it was just some messed up translation over the ages.
Sure. That's funny that such a prominent name thing, just a mistake.
Right.
So.
A lot of these words that we don't know their origins probably came from Sumeria.
Yeah.
And Sumeria has no other language like it.
Okay.
So that makes it further confusing.
Got it.
I want to end this with 2 quotes from the book that
Okay.
I thought were really pertinent.
Sure.
And these both came from that last section.
Okay.
The biblical writers, searching for the meaning they felt ought to be in all names, would spot a resemblance to some Hebrew word or phrase and invent an explanation around it. And I'm like, you don't say. So there's that. And then further down, he said, this is an example of folk etymology.
Okay.
In which the Bible abounds.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Where they kind of make up the story to fit what they think they know.
Right.
And then it just like we have word etymology, the history of words. This is the history of folk tales.
Sure. Yep.
Is what he's saying.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Is just based on language.
Yep.
So that is it for the first pages 15 through 32. And next Sunday, we will be reading pages 33 through 48. We're still in the book of Genesis, and the topics that we will cover will be Cain and Abel, Nod, Enoch of Cain, Seth, and then Enoch of Seth, Ararat, Ham, Japheth, and Cush.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Okay?
Yep. So today is Sunday?
It is
Sunday. So you can move right along to our weekly replay. This will be in it at the very end. And also tomorrow we'll be back with
2 Samuel chapter 6.
Yep. So we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Hey wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my god. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.